If you've ever tried to eat 9 hot dogs over the course of a 9 inning baseball game and failed miserably and then regretted your decision for at least a week, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, folks. Welcome back to another episode of Live Trading. It is Wednesday. It is the middle of the week. Of course, a shortened week here. So we'll see what's going on. I got my main man 13 in the back. Let's go ahead and get it done.
Welcome to Benzinga Live Trading.
Let's see if this actually kind of comes back.
Way out of control, got way too high.
All right. Hey, I will take that. I will absolutely take that.
What is up, folks? Welcome back. Happy Monday. Great to see a whole bunch of returning faces in the chat, including Gil from Trade the Pool. What's going on? Good morning. Remember, on June 3rd, they're from 7 to 3. They're going to be doing a stream where you can learn all of the all of the secrets from professional traders, the deep dive trading event. Go check them out. Our stream is sponsored by Trade the Pool as well. Awesome group of guys. So if you need help getting over that 25K day trading threshold, or you simply need some more dry powder to hit your trades, Trade the Pool is the company to go to. Gil, we appreciate it. Can't wait to see how that event is going to shake out. Thank you for sharing with us. Thank you for sharing the link. I'll go ahead and share that too, just in case it didn't come through on your end. And let's go ahead and dive in. Let me bring on my main man, 13. 13, how are you doing on this Wednesday?
I'm doing fine. Don't anybody worry about the storms we've been getting. I'm still surviving. Even though it was a pretty interesting day yesterday. I was taking my sons out to lunch, and on our way back, it just kind of ripped through our area, and it looked like we had almost hurricane force winds, but everything's fine. Just another day in Texas.
Just another day in Texas. I will say, when you signed on for the happy hour, it looked dark. And it's like, what,
it was
3 p.m. at your time. It looked like it was the middle of the night. You had a glass of scotch ready to go. I was like, Joe's in good shape right now. This is not a problem at all. Okay. Really good stuff. Let's go ahead and break down the market. First thing that we're going to talk about here is going to be the SPY. Let me bring it up. All right. Now, one of the things that I said yesterday, and then one of the things I left you with, is we are still inside this candle. Well, guess what? Looks like we are going to test the range of this candle here today. Got the low at 524.72 and the bottom of the body of that candle at 525.96. Well, guess what? We're at 525.84 right now. So let's see what happens here on the opening print. What's more important than where we trade right out of the open here is going to be where we close. I am hoping for a close beneath the bottom of that candle, at least the bottom of the body of the candle, which is that 525.96 number. Let's call it 526 just to make it easy. But better still if we close beneath the wick of that candle. And I'm being shown that Jensen Wong threw out the first pitch at an athletics game. Okay, interesting. Didn't know that is going to happen. That shouldn't affect the stock at all. In any case, that's what I'm kind of looking for here today. We're drifting lower here in the pre-market. We're certainly going to open lower. I think we move lower from here instead of bouncing. We'll see if that materializes. 13, what say you?
This is the move I was explaining in happy hour yesterday that I was looking for. Wanted to see an open and close beneath yesterday's close. So it looks like we're going to at least get the open. And how we trade from here, not exactly sure. But what I'd like to see is another test of that previous all-time high at 524.61. Got that almost on Thursday. I'd like to see that get tested again today. If we do start drifting that direction and go lower than the candle you were talking about, there is a bit of a gap to fill on the way down there. So that could also be possible. The thing I've noticed is that, did you have something to say?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think that gap fills here at what, 523.30? Is that the number that you have on that gap fill, that small little gap?
I have like a 523.83 on.
Okay, so right there. That's going to be the top wick of the candle then. That's 523.83. It's exactly what I have.
But the thing that I noticed with the SPY is that a lot of the sellers, maybe all of them, they're all hanging out at 530. And that's been the big level to get over ever since we got up here on the 15th of May. Got up to traded over 530, closed beneath it. And that's been the case for the past 9 days. Only 7 of them have we. Only 2 of those past 9 days have we closed above 530. Every other day, it's just been complete rejection, and now we're going lower. So I think 530 is going to be a really important handle if we come trade back up to there.
Okay, we'll see if we end up getting that good stuff here on the SPY. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the other movers that are getting ready to roll here today. So first one here is going to be GVH. We've definitely traded this one off the relative volume scanner before. I don't think I know anything about this company. Consider it just kind of a trading vehicle. Globa Vend Holding shares are trading higher after the company announced an MOU to acquire Top Logistics. Okay, so that's your PR here. This spiked it up to 350. We are already rolling over. We are already breaking some support in the first impulse move pullback here. GVH volume is quickly drying up and turning to selling volume. Let's see if this one is still in play. This was at the top of the list here and very quickly pulling back.
Yeah, not a whole lot that I could really find on this, and I think that might be the problem. It's acquiring Top Logistics, like you said. Or it's announced an MOU to acquire Top Logistics. They have a 3.55 million share float. Didn't see any significant short interest or reverse splits. And it's a quick look at their financial, reports and their balance sheet. Made me wonder, do they even have the money to make an acquisition? So I'm wondering if, because the terms weren't disclosed, how this is supposed to be acquired. If there's going to be some kind of merger or stock, sales in the to the company, so that the people that have a stake in Top Logistics have a piece of GVH. I don't know what the terms are, and if they have to raise money, they're going to do an offering. So that could be one of the reasons why we're starting to see it lead now.
Okay. Just be careful with this one. This one might be a candidate for a pop and drop here. Well, we'll see. Okay. Another one here on the list. This one also had a catalyst here. Is going to be ticker BNAI. This is Brand Engagement Networks. Stock popped as high as 240 before turning around and coming back into that 160 handle. It's bounced from there and it's testing too. Ben shares are trading higher after the company announced a $4.95 million private placement and appointed Paul Chang to co-CEO. Co-CEO, is that like the whole quarterback math where if you have 2 quarterbacks, you actually have no quarterbacks? You have 2 CEOs, maybe you have no CEOs. I'm not really sure how this works. However, impulse move here again up to 240. Looks like it's getting bought back. Volume's coming in for another round here. Just all of the news and fundamentals aside, this type of action actually bodes well for a trade later today. If we're getting multiple volume pops on this, it's possible that this actually gives several trades throughout the course of the day. We did run through that VWAP right there at 187, pulling back. To me, that's fine. Not really going to change anything. I'm certainly not going to trade this in the pre-market. I'm going to wait for this. I'm going to wait for the market to open here before making a judgment. BNAI, you got anything on this one?
This is one of the ones I covered. I don't have a float read on this in Benzinga. I'd have to go somewhere else for that. Not really sure about this company. They don't really make a whole lot of money. See that their last earnings report, they did less than 50,000 in revenue. So this is definitely going to be one of those pops and traded, if you will. And then once it's done, it's done, in my opinion. So be careful with this one. I don't know how much meat is left on this bone.
Okay, I'm thinking we're going to get at least one more opportunity when the market opens here. I hope I'm not wrong, and that opportunity wasn't in the latter half of the pre-market here. Again, fingers crossed. We'll see when it opens. Next here on the list is going to be CCG. This is, I think, Chewy Group. Maybe I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. Chichi. Okay, we'll go with it. Chichi sounds good. Stock, a little impulse move up here between 240. We have earnings tomorrow. I don't know if anyone really kind of follows that. And really no other news moving this. So stock up 40% ahead of earnings. This might just kind of be a trade. I'll just say this right out the open here. I'm not looking to buy this and hold it into earnings. I don't think that's what this is. I think this might just kind of be trading action leading up into earnings. For me, it really needs to get over the VWAP. We'll see if it does that. What did I miss?
No, STFU is funny because we said Chichi. CCG has no news. They do have the ER tomorrow, like you said, the 27.8 million share float. Didn't see anything of other significance other than they are a online insurance company for China. So it's kind of like, I guess, a root, if you will. I'm not saying this is going to move like root, but I think this is This is just one of those online insurance brands, and I don't know if I don't know anything else about this company. So being that it's a China stock, I probably would not trade this one.
Okay, let's get to some stocks that we do know of, have talked about, and feel more confident trading. These next three here definitely going to be in play. We're going to start with ASTS. This is going to be AST Space Mobile. 13, I've made no secret about it. I go to you when it comes for space news. We've often talked about some of the different rockets being launched, what it means, stuff behind it. You're often sharing me links where I can watch some of these rocket launches very early in the morning, which is really, really awesome. I nerd out through this stuff too, just to be very, very clear. But ASTS here, this popping up towards 650, didn't quite get there. Catalyst here, AST Space Mobile shares are trading higher after the company announced a partnership with Verizon for direct-to-cellular AST Space Mobile service when needed for Verizon customers. Now, we had another recent piece of news that you think might be related to this. What do you think on this one, ASTS?
About 2 weeks ago, they announced we traded this one actually.
Yes, we did.
They had announced a deal with AT&T to do the same thing that they're doing with Verizon here. So I'm thinking that now that we have both AT&T and Verizon, we might. I'm kind of waiting to see if T-Mobile is going to, get picked up here as well. But to me, this seems like this is going to be the company that's going to help AT&T and Verizon sort of fill the coverage gaps in more rural areas. So this would be like sort of in a way, a direct competitor with SpaceX, or Starlink. I mean,
Starlink.
You know how they are able to pretty much reach anywhere on the globe as long as they have their equipment. So I'm thinking that this might be providing their subscribers, AT&T and Verizon, with means to continue coverage in those areas that right now Starlink might be having a better time dominating in until this starts getting rolled out. Now, the company does have 134 million shares in the float, so a little bit larger, but they do have a 23.45% short interest with 11.39 days to cover. So this could be very, very squeezy today as we start trade as the day goes on. So I think this is going to be a big mover. I hope it is. And this is going to be one that I'm going to be trying to find trades in.
Yeah, I agree with you here. Like we go through this stuff every day, right? And this type of catalyst, when you're able to connect all of those dots, 13, this type of catalyst definitely stronger than some of the other fluffier, maybe more vague PRs that we hear about. I'm with you here. I think that this is probably going to be our best opportunity today. Maybe we don't get it out of the open, right? Maybe being patient is something that we're going to have to do here with this name here. But I'm with you here. The short interest looks good. The days to cover looks good. We've got a lot of things going on here for ASTS. We'll see if this takes off. This one probably the top watch on the list here. Okay, I know we're running out of time. I do want to get to some stocks from the chat here. So let's just go ahead and roll through these last two tradable ones and then one that we should mention as a merger and acquisition here. Next one's going to be Qbts. This is D-Wave Quantum. The reason that I'm bringing this one up is because we've traded some of this quantum computing shares in the past. We've had a number of our chat members here actually talk about this entire sector, not just this particular name. But all of this stuff here. So this one likely to be in play again. If we take a look at the news here, we do have some news fresh here. D-Wave Quantum featured in the Wall Street Journal. Okay, awesome. That is...
Somebody wrote an article.
So let's PR it. I mean, stock's up 15% here. We'll see if maybe it gives us a trade opportunity. I'm not sure really what this PR means. The pre-market volume here doesn't really stand out. It's fair. Frankly, it's fairly in line. I guess maybe it's a little bit more elevated than other pre-markets, but really still nothing really kind of jumps off the page here. If we take a look at the daily chart here, you can see this thing occasionally makes runs, comes back in, and then makes another run. This looks like maybe it's coming off the bottom. Maybe that's the start of one. Not something I'm going to hold overnight, but something I will keep on watch here today. Okay, next one here, another real company, one that I use and have a ton of experience with and really, really like, by the way. This is, of course, going to be Chewy, ticker CHWY. Chewy shares trading higher following better than expected Q1 earnings. I wish Stay Focused was here. I know he's a big Chewy trader, likes this company as well. Finally. All right. Finally, this is a company I've liked for a long time. And man, the stock has really, really struggled. Sure looks like we're kind of putting in a bottom here, or a bottom has already been put in. Today's earnings report looking pretty good. Takes us up to about 19, clears out a lot of this bottoming sideways action down here. So really, really good to see. What's going to be more important here on Chewy is where do we close here today? Right? How does this stock close? You see, we've taken 2 legs up here in the pre-market. I definitely want to hold on to some of these gains here on Chewy. So I like this. I have no position. I know about this company. I feel good about this company. I feel much better buying this company than some of the other junk names that we talk about on here. So giddy up. Let's see if we can make some money on Chewy.
That 5-minute chart looks very enticing.
5-minute chart looks very enticing. Here's what you got on that 5-minute. Let's see if we come back in another 30 cents to that VWAP and hard bounce off of it. 13. That would be a sweet setup.
That'd be cool. I mean, it might happen, it might not happen, but for me, this is a good formation. It looks like it's going higher. So we'll just have to see if that's what happens here. Remember, it's got a 116 million share float, so a lot of folks are going to have to help that along.
Okay. Real quick here, STFU saying Chewy needs to stop sending me auto ships. So this is actually something that I've kind of gone back and forth on. First of all, STFU, did you cancel it? And then are they actually charging you for it? If they are sending product without charging you, yikes, that inevitably is going to transfer to the stock price in a bad way, I think. If you just forgot to cancel, I mean, bro, your problem is probably best solved looking in the mirror and then canceling. Not to be a jerk, but would like a little bit more context on that. Okay. In any case, Chewy, I like the stock. We'll see if it ends up moving. All right, let's flip over, or let's talk about some of the other stocks that the chat is mentioning here. I know you guys are throwing them out, and you guys are probably thinking, oh, wow, this guy's ignoring me. He keeps talking about all these other stocks, but we've got a system, and we're going to keep doing that system. Real quickly here, because you mention it all of the time, 13, Becca telling us that GV did a reverse split today. Now that, remember, folks, when we talk about, and actually I see it in my broker, the price is correct here in TradingView as well. So anyway, we talk about these reverse splits. They're worth watching. These are not something that you just go out and buy just because it's reverse split, but we've noticed that some of the big movers come from this cohort. And so we're going to kind of call that out here. So GV, a reverse split effective today, has moved lower here. Put it on your watch list if you want to trade that. Okay, there were a couple of other bigger stocks.
What was the split? It looks like all the movement was yesterday.
See, like I said, in my broker here, it shows the split effective today. It looks a little bit different here in TradingView.
Yeah, I was just looking at because yesterday there was a big spike in movement.
Yeah, there was a move. I mean, maybe that was traders positioning. I don't know. I don't know I'm just going off of what we do know here. Split effective today. Okay, a couple more big stocks that you folks want to take a look at. Oh, by the way, that was a 15-1. Thanks, Bex. Real quickly, and I forgot to mention this. I'm sorry, I'm kind of all over the place here. I'm going to try and get better here. When we were talking about Asts, we were talking about the deal with Verizon and AT&T. Carmen brought up a really good point. I wonder if they'll also do a deal with T-Mobile.
I said that I don't know if they will. I mentioned that when I was going my rant, because that's the only other big wireless carrier. You have AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. Now, I think didn't T-Mobile just have some kind of news that they're picking up U.S. Cellular, or a good portion of it? I thought that was the news that they had. I'll have to double check that, but I'm pretty sure that that's what the news for T-Mobile was. And I don't know if ASTS is going to be involved with T-Mobile as of yet.
Okay. Nicholas also giving some more context here on ASTS. Can't read it right now, though. Really trying to finish this off before we open. I know we're at 5 minutes here, but check that out if you're interested in that. Okay, real quick here. There were a couple of names that you folks were suggesting. Sebio wants to take a look at Nvidia. Gosh, I can't imagine why. Just kidding. Nvidia, we look at this every single day. Are we at the top here, right? Triple top here on this intraday chart. We'll see if we can break 1150. To me, that's going to be the only thing that matters here on the upside. Downside sure looks like the market's going to come in. One of the things that we've been discussing on Nvidia is that when this cracks, the market is likely to accelerate to the downside. I completely agree with that. So we'll see here if Nvidia starts accelerating a downside move here, but watch that 1150 level if somehow the market gets bought or Nvidia gets bought back up. Otherwise, I don't really have anything new here. We all pretty much know what's going on with Nvidia.
I think Nvidia just really needs to come in. I'm looking at a daily chart and I see like these the past few days where these two gap ups, and the RSI was in the 80s yesterday, but I think we're just well overbought here, and it does need to come in. So whenever that market move happens, just be ready for it. It's going to be violent.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that's going to come in here too. Okay, there were a couple of more big stocks here that I missed. Amazon, Robert, you wanted to take a look at Amazon. That one I can find right now.
Somebody was also asking about Meta too. Sorry.
Meta, that's what it was. Thank you. Thank you, 13. Good looking out here. Robert saying Amazon 30-minute chart inverse head and shoulders pattern. I'll be honest, I don't know that I've ever traded an inverse head and shoulders pattern off the 30-minute chart. Here is your 30-minute chart.
I think they're talking about from April and like early May.
Yeah, I'm not sure, Robert.
Right there.
Where?
It's right in the formation, right in the middle. Yeah,
right here. This, and this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, didn't that kind of already resolve as we traded higher?
Well, I think it has. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Robert, let us know if we're missing something here.
But I see the formation.
Yeah, I mean, I see this back here, but that was from the end of April. And again, to me, it looks like that formation is resolved. But in any case, Robert, looking at Amazon, I do like this and like this higher. Don't have any position. Last time I traded this was a butterfly. That actually worked out pretty well. Meta was the other one that you folks wanted to take a look at, and glad we did because we actually talked about this yesterday. Yeah. Meta here, pretty interesting formation, right? Sure looks like it wants to kind of break out here, maybe fill that gap up to the bottom of this body here. We talked about this on the happy hour yesterday. Seems to, and actually here, let me see if I can get that better chart up. I know we're opening in 2 minutes here. I got it. This is the last thing that I wanted to cover, so we're going to make it. Meta was really kind of holding that 20-day moving average that you talk about all the time, 13. We're really struggling to get above that 50. That 50 is actually declining a little bit. Let's see if we can actually punch above it. Highs here will be 532. I'll be honest, just with the way I feel about the market, I think the bigger move to the downside, maybe a move to 390, is probably the one that I'd rather trade. But I do think we get an upside move first before we get a move back down to that 200 day.
So real quick on this, the thing that I was looking at with Meta is that we want to see that if we're upside, we want to see the 50-day SMA, the price break out of that. And we're kind of right up against that now. Now, if we get a rejection, the next thing I'm going to want to look for is the 20-week SMA to that support to fail. If you look at a weekly chart, you'll see that the 20-week SMA has literally been the escalator that this thing has been riding up. And as soon as we start getting multiple closes, like 3 closes underneath that, I think that we're going to be getting confirmation that this is going down more. So that's going to be looking for the 50-day SMA and the 20-week SMA.
Okay, really good stuff there.
And we're open. Now watch Chewy go.
Okay, so put that away. Let's focus up here. Here's GameStop. Looks like that first move is lower. We'll see what happens here. Let's go and with there goes Chewy. We're going to go higher here.
Yep, it is. Oh, that formation was beautiful.
We're going to go higher here.
Yep, we did. It's higher. Gosh, that was such a beautiful formation.
Let me get my scanner up on another screen here. BNAI. I'd like to see Chewy move above 20 here. BNAI looks like it was flirting with that high there. 224 the high so far.
First move with ASTS is down. Let's see if we get this spot back up. Remember, it has a large float, so there's not going to be as much whipping around as in this one as some of these other ones. Take care, Wisdom.
Yeah, sorry, I'm still getting stuff ready here. Take care of yourself, Wisdom.
Let's see. What else do we got? That one, no.
Okay.
There was one that I
Okay.
had on here, SYTA. This got an order from Lancaster Public Utilities.
Yeah, that was on the list this morning here, but really poor price action.
Yeah, it is. This one, you know, it might be interesting in about 30 minutes if it can hold at these levels or maybe find a bottom soon. I'll come back to this one later, but I think you're right. For now, this might be something we have to wait on.
Action here not looking great either. Lucy, this is a penny stock on the scanner. Looks like this is about to take out its pre-market high. I know you penny players were taking a look at some of these earlier. CCG, this is one that we took a look at from the list here this morning. Big move down here. Let's see what the chat is looking at. RSLS, another penny play here from Jonathan. Looks like that's going higher.
That's the lap band play.
Lap band. Box from Corvette. Corvette, that's a sweet handle. Box super low volume here. Did look like this popped here. I'm not actually sure what's going on with this one. I don't see a trade here though. GVH. Also from our list here, rejected right at VWAP. See if it can get over that VWAP. You know, this volume candle right out of the open here looks good. Where's Smoke Tuna? Has he joined us yet this morning? Is he doing his morning cold plunge still? Say again?
I think we did see him earlier this morning.
I'd be curious to know what he thinks about the MACD on this 3-minute chart here. This actually looks pretty decent. GVH. Maybe this takes out that VWAP.
All right, ASTS going down to 65 EMA on the 5-minute.
SYTA might be curling here, folks. Watch 205, some size there. Here is ASTS. Sorry, 13. Didn't mean to steal your thunder there.
It's okay. I'm no Thor.
That's a pretty good response, actually. ASTS here, nothing but selling since the market opened here. AAL continues to tank on bad earnings. Let's take a look here. Oh, yikes. Definitely a move down here. So this moved down yesterday, right? Yeah. Oh, no, excuse me. This was in the after-hour session yesterday, and another leg lower here today.
Yeah, downgraded to not great.
Downgraded to not great. Oh, man. I like it.
Let's see if ASTS is going to get the bounce here. Looks like that 65 EMA is so far working. Our MS is mentioning MRO. Pull that up. What's going on with this one? That one's dropping. Conoco.
MRO got bought out, right? That was yeah. Let me get the news here on that one. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. I'm going to cycle back through these. Chewy higher now. It got to 20. Just a penny away from it, actually. But
deals worth $22.5 billion. That ConocoPhillips Marathon Oil deal, 14.7% premium. What's the price? Not giving me a price on this. They're making me figure it out. I just don't have the time to do that. Blast. Anyway, MRO, I'm not sure how much is going to be in here for a particular trade. NVDA, not necessarily a trade here yet, but this is still resolving lower. 1150, the high print there on Nvidia. Looks like it's coming in considerably from that.
Chewy, been the good one so far.
Chewy ripping through that 20 level that we discussed here, looking good. Oh, God, where is Stay Focused when we need him? Hope he's doing well here today.
ASTS might be coming back here. See if we can, at the very least, I think it'll come back up to VWAP. Whether we get through it or not, that's something I'm not sure about. It's got a huge wall at $6.
That I'll tell you what, that last candle with that lower wick looking pretty good.
Yeah, that was the one that went down to the 65 EMA. That was hey, shout out Andy. 65 EMA strikes again. Wiss is mentioning Awin. That's another one we
uses it for a reason, doesn't he? Let's take a look here at Awin. This looks like this popped yesterday. Coming through the VWAP, really, really low volume here, lower in the pre-market and not impressive at all in the regular session here in Awin. I think that this really needs to kind of turn around. Actually, if we look back to yesterday, look how boring and non-eventful the stock was until we got the volume. Looks like we're going to need the exact same thing here today, folks.
All right, so ASTS back up to VWAP. Might see a rejection here. Just kind of waiting to see what it does.
Lucy kept going. We talked about that was a penny player. Here is your VWAP on ASTS.
Yeah, so
here it comes. This is trying to go higher here. Oh,
yep.
My.
Yep, and it might run into some problems at 625. But I'm just wanting to see what it does next. There was a good trade in there already off the 65 EMA, so that was a good one. I'm just waiting to see for the next one set up here. Tesla's rocketing. Well, there's the rotation, probably out of Nvidia and into Tesla.
I think I'd be taking ASTS up here. So let's take a look at Tesla. Oh my goodness. That is some power green candles right there out of the open. Good move up here on Tesla.
And Apple as well. Looks like ASTS is also trying to push through that 625, but there's such a huge wall there. I'm not sure it's going to get it right away.
So we talked about the SPY here. Actually, SPY moving lower. Q's trying to come up off the lows, but that SPY is still at the lows. So despite some of these power moves and some of these names here, market is not turning around just yet. Netflix, by the way, looking, I guess maybe it's not as powerful as you.
Hey, that's interesting with Netflix, because I saw a report about how Mike Tyson suffered a medical emergency on a flight, or as the flight was about to take off.
Did he beat someone else up?
No, just ulcers that he had flare up, and I think that was the extent of it. I was wondering if maybe that would affect Nvidia because they're fighting.
Real quick here, ASTS butting up against the 624 level, 625, 1 penny higher, has a ton of size available for sale. Let's see if and they went right through it. Oh my goodness, they went right through it.
Yeah, and this could go higher. This could go higher. It's got a key resistance level here. It's been resistance in pre-market ever since it got up here. This would be the level to break.
Jay, come on, dude. You're better than this. You're better than this, and we know that you're better than this. The stock is, maybe it is up $1. This thing is up 4 points in the first couple of minutes off the low. 4 full points. Come on, man. Come on, Jay. You're so much better than that. Let's take a look at FFIE, which we had been talking about being a huge pumper. This thing losing its dollar status, and looks like lower we go here. Probably on FFIE. Holding the VWAP here today. I wouldn't hang on to that one, though.
All right, so ASTS, 2 good trades in that one. That was fantastic.
That ripped to the highs. That was a really good trade off that at 65 EMA. My goodness.
Got to tell Andy about that one.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we were saying it, and guess it did the thing.
HIMS, another 50-cent reversal here on HIMS. Chewy still holding above 20. We'll take that.
Chewy's good. It made new higher highs too, but it looks like it's going to come in a bit, and I think we're going to probably see a VWAP test here in a moment in Chewy.
Dick's Sporting Goods continuing to move, second leg up here post earnings on ticker DKS, and it looks like they also raised their guidance, beat on the top and bottom line here. And a guidance raise, so you get the trifecta here. $1.10 dividend. DKS looking great here, man.
I'm sorry, Carmen, but you know what? You're a great trader. You'll get another shot at these, especially ASTS. I know you will, but man, I hate it when that happens.
669 got some size. That is your day high here. ASTS, I'll say this, 13. We talked about this one being the potential mover right out of the gate here. So far, this has given us the best trade, unless you were long Chewy.
It certainly did move down at first, but that EMA was key. And getting back up to VF was the first step. Going through it and going through that huge wall of sell orders, that was the big move that that I was looking for, but I didn't capture all of it, but I got a good portion of it. So I'm happy with the 2 trades I got in that one.
So we just talked about DKS, Dick's earnings. Look at ANF, same deal here. We've been looking at Abercrombie for a long time. This daily chart, one of the best in the market, if you ask me at the moment. Abercrombie here again, reporting earnings this morning, beat on the top and bottom line. Did they raise their guidance as well?
Okay. Is okay. That's great. Oh wow, ANF.
What?
Really? Okay, because one of the things that I was that I've been saying for the past few weeks was with regard to the CPI report. I was noticing that apparel prices were on the rise, and that this could end up leading to a better second quarter for some of these apparel stocks. I mentioned that specifically with Lululemon. So I was looking towards Lululemon when they have earnings in I think 7 days of what they're going to say about their guidance for Q2. I think they could have a better than expected guidance. Not to mention that stock's been nearly cut in half.
Yeah,
and it has super low RSI. So there's a lot of really nice setups in Lulu for at the very least an earnings bounce. At the most, it could turn around and end up making new all-time highs in a matter of months.
Okay.
But sorry. Anyway.
No, I was going to say, first of all, it's a really good setup here on Lulu. Making all-time highs in a matter of months. This stock's $300. It's down from $550. I mean,
when I say a matter of months, I'm talking like, I'll elaborate. I'm talking like anywhere from 6 to 18.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, okay. Because I was going to say that you're absolutely right. This thing has had a huge move down, and if you do get any type of juice on the earnings with as badly as this stock has been sold, that's actually not a bad contrarian play here. Ticker LULU. Interesting off some of those other retail earnings numbers.
Yeah. So if these other apparel retailers are reporting good earnings, but they're guiding higher, I think that thesis is seemingly working. So apparel companies might be the play for Q2 if we continue to get these CPI reports that show that apparel prices are on the rise. That just means higher margins for these companies.
Yeah. Okay. Good stuff there, 13. Good stuff there. Chewy continuing to move higher here. Looks like this is going towards 21.
Yeah. The day high in HIMS is 1934 now.
HIMS has been strong here too.
And so has ASTS. This thing's going to hit 7.
SYTA looking like that is moving back towards the VWAP. Here is ASTS.
Yeah. And SYTA, remember, they have less than 1 million shares in the float. So that one's going to...
Here you go on 7. There's size at 7 here on ASTS, by the way. There's a little bit of size ahead at 7, but that won't matter at all.
Oh, wow. What a move in ASTS.
What a move. Yeah, this was the hey, look, I'm really happy because we even said that this one might be the mover here this morning. And sure enough, giving us a great rebound trade off that.
So 7 to 710. That's probably where we're going to get the next rejection, because if you look at the daily chart, that's where you kind of see these peaks happening from June of 23 and March of 23. We have those last 2 peaks, and they're at 710 and 714. So if we get over 7, I think that we might get rejected around those. That's what I'd be watching for at this point.
Okay, here you go. 7 tests coming right now, it looks like. Let's see if they've got the strength to move through it there.
And looks like Chewy's still wanting to go higher. Certainly trying, but it seems to have slowed down a bit.
Holding well up here, but you're absolutely right, 13. This definitely slowed down. SYTA, I think this is going back towards your VWAP here.
Yeah, I have my VWAP at 242, so at the very least there might be a 10, 15 cent trade from here.
This is trying to push higher here. I got size at 237 SYTA.
Yeah, and we're going. It's trying to anyway.
BNAI maybe curling here.
They just brought that wall down to 232. Let's see if it gets chewed up.
Wiss mentioning LIDAR, ticker LIDR. That was one from yesterday. This is less than impressive volume here on LIDAR so far anyway.
And then keep getting asked about Lucy. I'll take a quick look at that one.
ASTS, my goodness, is this halted? No, still open here. Big move though, halt potential on this one.
Yeah, so Lucy is under $1. For the moment now, on the 5-minute chart, I'm not liking the way those wicks that it's putting in look. That would be an indication to me that this might be starting to roll over. I'd focus on the MACD to see if we start to get that to curl as well. But this thing looks like it might be coming in a little bit. I don't know that it's going to bounce in about 10 minutes or so, but I guess I would look for 57 cents to be a bit of a support level if it does come in.
And that's on Lucy.
Mm-hmm. Chewy's higher. ASTS is higher. Got it to 750. My God.
ASTS with a really, really nice impulse move there.
Took out those two levels I was talking about. All right, so now it's time to find the next one.
And let's look at some of the big caps here real quick. Apple really strong here. Let's take a look at Nvidia. Nvidia, nothing but selling pressure yet today, but nothing to be really concerned about just yet, in my opinion. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. Nvidia, we're actually still inside. I'm not going to be surprised to see, trading action like this, especially in a name like Nvidia. I want to see what happens if we break down here. I've got the bottom of this body. Oh, let's see here. The low 1098.83, 1102 is the bottom of the body here. So we're still inside on Nvidia, although that is weak here so far. Let's take a look at some of the other big caps. We talked about Meta earlier. Let's see what Meta's doing right here. Meta just kind of holding in there. Netflix up near the highs. SMCI being mentioned by Jay, also not strong. That one trading very much with Nvidia. SMCI looking pretty weak here, actually. Let me take a look at the daily chart there on that one. Oh, I'm going to use it on my bigger chart real quick.
I mean, this is nice to actually see semiconductors finally roll over.
Yeah. By the way, that SMCI, that's just beneath that 20-day SMA. I've got that at 841, current price 834. So real close there. I think let's see where we close on that.
So with ASTS, I'm seeing that if I look further back, that there's between $7 and $8. There's a pretty good amount of consolidation, and $8 has a pretty sizable resistance level. So $7 to $8 might be troublesome for ASTS to get through. I'm not saying it won't get through it, but we might see a lot of attempts to get through it and it gets rejected. So just keep that in mind, that it might take a bit for ASTS to get through 7 and 8.
Yeah, it's going through 7 right now, but to your point, 13, I think it really needs to kind of build above this level to set itself up for higher. So we'll see if it ends up doing that here. GVH from the list. Looks like this might be curling. GVH.
Yeah, and I think if we do get some weakness in ASTS, I'm going to be looking for about 580, the price 580 to be a support level. I might try to, depending on how the formation looks, I might try this again there.
I am trying some GVH here. We'll see if this can keep curling. If not, we'll stop out. We shall see. Actually, move this down a little bit.
It's going to be super interesting. It's going to be super interesting if that inflation report in Australia is one of the reasons why we're starting to roll over here. For those who don't know, we had an inflation report come out of Australia. Year-over-year inflation was much higher than expected. So that's...
Didn't we have Kashkari talking about rate hikes too recently? I'm pretty sure we did.
I think his comments were more geared towards higher for longer. There's a lot more.
Oh, okay. So here, Fed's Kashkari says, think the odds of Fed raising rates are quite low.
Yeah.
Could stay on hold for an indefinite period of time. You're absolutely right. That's going to be more higher for longer. Thank you, 13.
CCG, nope. ASTS coming in. So it looks like all these movers that we were having fun with are starting to come in a bit, which is fine.
Which that's expected, and we'll wait that out. I'm going to be right back. 1 sec, 13.
Okay. Jay Rice saying this 17%. what is this? A short interest? Yeah, the short interest is nice on Chewy. That's one of the reasons why it helped move it up. The days to cover wasn't great, but still, the squeeze was working great. What else are we looking at here? Lucy ripping to $1 today. Well, let me take a look. I mean, it certainly has direction right now. There's nothing at the moment that tells me that we're that it's done. But the fact that we're starting to curl a bit here in the price action is looking like it's a little weak, and it doesn't have a whole lot of room left to go to $1. So I mean, I could see it happening. What was the last time we were at $1? 2 days ago, Friday. So I would just draw on what the price action of Friday had for some upside targets, and I see how we got up to 114 on Friday. So it's possible we could get back up there.
Stopped out.
No. There's as I was talking about
GVH.
As I was talking about Lucy, it just took a total nosedive.
Let me catch up on the chat here. All the semis dumping.
Yeah. So what's good then? What is getting the interest? Probably. I mean, is this going to be a rotation into value, or are we just seeing another day of going among the Mag 7s? It looks like Apple's the big winner of the Mag 7s right now. Tesla went negative. Let's see what Apple's doing here. Yeah, just some pretty decent movement.
SPY is trading up off those lows, so that is bouncing here. BNAI curling back to the VWAP, but stopping there.
I mean, if we get I could see a case where Apple trades up over the next day or two as high as call it 195, 196 before getting rejected. I could see that happening. Basically, where we were at back in January, those highs, I could see it getting up to there and doing the same thing, coming back in after it gets up there.
Apple, really nice move here today. Purgatory Park sakes, 10 a.m. Buy the dip comes out. We might see that here.
Yeah,
looking at CRM. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say that tends to be when a lot of these big traders leave the market, start thinking about lunch, and that's when the weakness begins. So you could be right.
Smoked tuna on Sober, SOBR. That's a penny stock here. OKLO back to VWAP. That was a nice run from that 8 when we talked about it.
Yes, Market Sniper. I use the 5-minute mainly. There are other time frames that are useful, but that's what I'm on mostly.
Nvidia, nice little bounce here off that initial move lower here. Decent bounce. Apple's still up at the highs. Root moving lower. Tesla continuing to come back in. You had mentioned that earlier here as well. Tesla looks like it's going to continue to do that. All right, folks, It is Wednesday. You know what that means. We have our special guest here today. It is a pleasure to welcome back onto the program Tim Melvin. Tim, how you doing here today? Great to see you again. Happy Wednesday.
Oh, happy Wednesday to you guys. Holiday shortened weekend here. Of course, we all had Monday off. Frankly, I needed it after having a 2-year-old granddaughter here most of the weekend. I was exhausted on Monday, so
I can only imagine that you were, but good to have that day off. Let me ask you really quick here. Do you do anything different on truncated weeks like this when we have a holiday shortened week? Is your strategy change at all, or is it just business as usual?
My strategy doesn't change over decades, right? I mean,
fair enough. So one holiday weekend ain't going to mean anything.
No. I mean, it's the only time a market closure ever really kind of impacted my strategy was going all the way back to 9/11 when we closed for a week.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just the fact that the market's closed. I'm not a trader, and I know my strengths and my weaknesses. I would be a crappy trader. and I've tried and I was, so we just kind of moved on from that. So yeah, the market being closed doesn't impact anything at all.
Okay, fair enough. So being a non-trader, being more of an investor here, what are you seeing? Anything got you excited here this week so far?
Well, I mean, we talked about energy last week.
Yep.
And, we saw another renewable energy merger this week with Atlantica Sustainable being sold. And then right on top of that, just as the Chevron Hess deal closed, we saw a bid for Marathon Oil this morning from ConocoPhillips. So M&A is coming in energy. So everything that I said about energy last week, just reinforcing it, guys. It's cheap. M&A is inevitable. It's coming. If you're buying the assets at a discount and the cash flows on the cheap, your odds of getting taken out of your position of the small to mid cap stuff is really high right now among U.S. energy companies. Other than that, it's really hard for me when I look over what's really done poorly over the last year, over the last quarter, month, week, day. Anytime I see something at the top of the it stinks list for every time period, I get excited. So what stinks right now? And it's stunk all year and everybody hates it. And your dog will leave home if you buy this stuff. Your wife will pack up and leave. I mean, it's like a bad country and Western song buying this stuff. Okay. And that's real estate.
Okay.
Right? Real estate. And I love the headlines, right? Office is going to kill all community banks and all the real estate's going to default. And all of the people doing all this lovely clickbait stuff have no clue what they're talking about. Basically, they don't understand the real estate financing market. They don't understand property valuation. They're not checking the comps. They're not talking to the realtors. They're not talking to the tenants. We are. And yeah, real estate is having a financing problem. But if you want to drill down what's wrong with real estate, if you talk to anybody in commercial real estate, there's one problem in real estate right now. It's downtown central business district office buildings. Everything else, your 4-story office building in, pick a town, Tampa, okay? Anywhere else, the loan's going to refinance. The interest rate's going to go up. So the landlord is going to pass that on to the tenant, who's going to pass that on to the customer. That's much more of a problem for Jerome Powell and his guys dealing with inflation than it is for us as investors in those buildings. Now, the downtown office buildings, it's a problem in select markets, right? When you look at New York, you look at Seattle, you look at Portland, Chicago, people took this work from home stuff seriously. They left and they never came back. In New York, they're trying to force them back, but it isn't going well. And what's interesting is like Seattle and San Francisco, the office buildings are empty. The apartment demand is off the hooks. They still want to live there. They just don't want to go to work.
So we've actually talked about this. We've actually had this discussion going back. You're absolutely right, by the way. Work from home. Those that experienced it for the first time were like, what was I doing? I'm not going back to that. Someone that was hired into work from home like me prior to COVID has a little bit more understanding of it. We were talking about potential catalysts there of commercial buildings being turned into residential buildings. We talked about that for a while here. Do you have any potential stock targets that you're looking at around this entire thesis that you're talking about?
Well, obviously we have a few, but the thing to remember about the office to residential conversions, this is not easy.
Nope.
Okay.
And it can be expensive.
It's expensive. And like in New York, right? It's almost impossible because of zoning regulations. I mean, just getting any law passed in New York City is difficult. A law involving real estate and conversion and condo, it's a nightmare. So that's really not going to be the big savior that some people have talked about in a lot of markets. I think we've seen some done successfully in like Honolulu, but it's not going to be the savior in New York. What's going to be the eventual savior in New York is the large private equity firms, the banks, everybody saying, look, come back to work or you're fired. And we're starting to see that. Blackstone's doing it. Apollo's doing it. Jamie Dimon's doing it. And they're just like, look, guys, you got to come back to work. But it's still going to be a slow process. Now, A-level buildings in New York, like those owned by, say, Vornado, okay, VNO, they're full. Vornado has, about a 90% occupancy rate. As we get into these conditions where people are, there's occupancy problems, people are cutting back their real estate footprint. So what you do then, if you're a tenant, you leave the B or C level building that you're in and you move to the Class A property. And we're seeing that. So Class A properties in New York, Vornado, we've been more of a buyer of the debt and the preferred so far, but we'll eventually get to the equity. Okay. And that kind of is where we are for most northern and western office. All right. We are more interested in the debt side of the equation at this point in time. Now, when we come south and we get into Sunbelt office, it changes. When you look at like Cousin Properties, CUZ, that has the Class A properties in the Class A cities, and they've got the upper tier of the better buildings in the better towns. They're in Atlanta, Tampa, Nashville, all the markets where people are moving and continuing to move, because it's not just COVID, it's not just work from home, it's taxes, it's civil unrest, it's a whole bunch of reasons. And if you worked from home in New York and you were paying $3,500 a month to live in a closet, and they gave you the opportunity to work from home, so you went down and you figured out that you could buy a 3-bedroom house with a backyard in Nashville for less.
You were going to do that.
Yeah, and you're not going back. So, and here in Florida, we've seen all the hedge funds and financial firms just said, to hell with New York City. We're not paying that tax. Because remember, companies are run by people. And when you tell people that they're millionaires, so we're going to tax you extra on your house, on your real estate, on your income, they eventually flip off the middle finger and get out of town. Carl Icahn, who I was convinced most of the man's life he would have broke out in hives if he left one of the 5 boroughs. Right? He's in Miami. So, I mean, that's when you look at something like that, that's huge for Carl Icahn to pack
how
up.
Quickly things can change.
Yeah, and leave New York. And there's more. I mean, Ken Griffin, everybody left because of taxes, because of real estate. The Sunbelt offices, and we like Cousins Properties, and that's CUZ, and we like Highwood, HIW, a lot. And you're collecting, great dividends, great cash flows, conservatively financed, decent occupancy rates, and none of the work from home problems. I mean, I can tell you down here in Southwest Florida, going up to Tampa, Orlando, when they weren't supposed to be going to the office, when it was like illegal to go to the office, people down here were going to the office. And, it's the same in Atlanta and same in other, Sunbelt regions. So
I'll be honest, it was the same in Detroit for us too, at least with our company.
Yeah, I
think we were the outlier.
You were definitely the outlier. So we like Sunbelt offices, really starting to like, and we're being careful here, but the commercial real estate mortgage REITs, they're not, this is not an across the board thing, Ryan. It's you got to be really selective here. Okay. Because when you look at Apollo's REIT, Ares, KKR's, and Blackstone's, they're getting hit, and they're getting hit hard, and they should be. They have massive office exposure. They're going to take hits. Now we're watching these, and eventually KKR, you're looking at KREF, ACRE, BXMT, and ARI. Now they're getting hit because they're starting to show delinquencies. All right. Now the beauty of every one that I just named is they're affiliated with a large private equity firm that has a massive real estate investment operation. So they're going to take these buildings as they default, bring them into the real estate portfolio and manage them until we have a recovery and they can sell them. In the interim, they're going to take hits. The headlines are going to be ugly, nasty. The yields are, getting up to that 14, 15% level where you got to figure that there's a good chance there's a cut coming. Now, higher interest rates this week have raised the funding costs for the REITs. You've got higher funding costs, limited loan demand, and you're starting to take some hits on your property values. So those, we're out. Now, where are we in? We're in on Starwood, STWD. This is Barry Sternlich's REIT. He's been very conservative Even as everybody else was aggressive, he's been conservative. Only about 11% of the loan portfolio, which is 60% of the business, is in offices. Everything else, industrial, data center, multifamily, all performing high-end multifamily. Where, again, multifamily, you hear, oh, it's terrible, there's too many apartments. That's not really true because you got a lot of people that suddenly got trapped by rising mortgage rates. They couldn't move.
Mm-hmm.
So there's abnormally high apartment demand. But again, you've also seen the shift from the B and C level apartments to the A, the nice buildings in the nice locations with the nicer amenities, because the landlords are giving you bargains to come in to these newer properties. So why wouldn't you? Well, the answer is you would. So we're seeing that. So upper end apartments, we love it in the banking sector. We like it in the REIT sector. We like it in the financing sector. Love it everywhere. Starwood has a big portfolio of that. They also own, and actually I have my notes here on that one. They own a lot of real estate. We got 290,000 apartments directly owned, 409,000 hotel rooms. They own data centers, warehouses, retail space, and they have a medical office and life sciences practice. And there is no segment of the real estate market that I am more bullish on than medical office buildings.
Okay.
Not nursing homes, nothing else, but medical office buildings affiliated with large medical practices. They're full. They've always been full. They always will be full. And see, it's people like me, my generation, we got up yesterday and our hair was gone and we were gray. And we had, as my wife calls it, it's like some people collect baseball cards. I collect ologists, right? I got all these ologists I have to go see now as I get older. And I'm not the only one. It's like it's talking to a friend of mine the other day on the phone. We talk about once a month. He lives up in Maryland, my oldest friend. And it's like, we used to talk about baseball and we talk about chasing pretty girls and cars and finance. He says, now we talk about which doctor we went to see. This is crazy. But America's getting older. As you get older, you use more ologists. All of your ologists prefer to practice inside, which creates demand for medical office buildings and surgical centers. And as more stuff has become outpatient. My wife had a back surgery last year that 15 years ago, she'd have been in the hospital for a week. I took her home that day. So surgery centers, clinics, labs, all of that stuff is full. It's going to stay full. There's escalators in the lease, and people are selling it because the word office is in the name.
What's great about this? 13, my co-host here, you have been talking about this for a long time. I noticed that you had mentioned here in the chat, two of the ones that you were looking at, ABT and MDT.
Well, that was more on what Tim is referring to with the older generations having money and needing more medical care as a result of their age.
Yes.
Those are two companies that I have positions in because of I think they're going to do well as a result of that.
Yeah. See, and I agree with you completely, but to me, it's more efficient, I think, for those of us looking to score long-term on this stuff, to get paid up front, particularly in this market, right? So in the REITs, Starwood, I'm getting 10%, and 10.1% at today's price. Global Medical, GMRE, is a medical REIT that I love.
I love that one.
Been in it since the IPO. The market's punishing the hell out of this stock right now because they're not growing. And they're not growing because management looked around and said, debt is too expensive to buy new properties. And it makes exactly 0 cents to issue equity in this market. So we're going to pause until conditions change. We're not going to use expensive capital to overpay for buildings. It's smart. It's the right thing to do. But they don't hit Wall Street's magic buzzword of growth. So this thing's sitting here trading at about 60% of net asset value, my calculation of net asset value, okay? Great dividend, fantastic management. They own medical office buildings as standalone facilities in bedroom communities. Those communities 30, 40, 50 miles outside of the major cities. And they buy the buildings that are affiliated with the dominant local healthcare system. So you have high credit, you have long leases, you have escalators, you have tenants who aren't going anywhere.
Okay.
So this
I like that.
just filled up. And I don't really care what the price does over the course of the day-to-day or the week-to-week or the month-to-month or over the long. I don't care. I'm going to get paid 9-10% for a really long period of time. Okay. Eventually, all of this comes back into vogue. My price goes higher. M&A happens, which we're going to see a lot of in the real estate space over the next year.
Yeah.
Somebody buys it from me at a huge premium to my stock price. In the meantime, I'm getting paid up front. And if you give me a cash dividend, the market can't take that away. My stock goes up 20%, it can fall apart tomorrow. You can't take my cash dividend away.
Can't take it back. I'll be honest. I love this strategy. To me, this is what I would want to do in the exact environment that we find ourselves in. So I appreciate this a lot. I also love that some of the same thoughts that you were doing, 13 was also acting on and talking about with our community. So really, really awesome stuff. You got anything else for us, Tim? You want to save it for next week?
I mean, whatever you want. I can talk about this stuff for hours.
No, I totally get it. I totally get it. Really good. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, we're getting really bullish on real estate in here, and I can't.
Okay.
Very bullish. Now, we're sector specific. We're very careful in the office space, but we're starting to look at just the preferred stocks in this stuff, depending where you are on the I need income phase of your life, but. Commercial real estate, and because of commercial real estate, banks that invest in commercial real estate loans are too cheap. And when you start digging into the financials, these things, the financials do not match the headlines. The survivors are going to make you a lot of money. Okay. So if they hate it, I probably love it. They hate real estate, I love it. So. Okay,
that makes a lot of sense. I'll take that all day. Tim, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Tim.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Have a fantastic rest of the week. We'll see you next week.
Absolutely. Yeah. We'll see you next Wednesday. Absolutely love this stuff. Tim, Melvin, be sure to smash up the like for our guy here. If you're like me and you like doing a little bit, adding some stuff to your portfolio that's a little bit slower and safer, Tim is your guy. Really, really awesome stuff. What'd you think about that? I know that's got to make you feel. I know. Yeah. Come on, man.
No,
I know you're a humble dude. But that's got to make you feel pretty good.
Well, no, it's great because I was just mentioning in chat, like I picked up GMRE when the pandemic started because I thought it was a good idea. I think that didn't think that there was going to be anything going away on that front, and I held it for a while. I think I ended up getting it in the sevens when that happened. I'd have to double check and go back and look, but it's at a very attractive valuation right now, and it still pays a really good dividend. So yeah, this is something that I absolutely am going to have in the Roth account. Absolutely.
Okay. Awesome.
But yeah, and then he was also mentioning, there was another stock he was mentioning too.
The Starwood, STWD.
I'm going to look into that one too. That was great.
Yeah, I actually have some of that. Real quick here. Lot was going on there, folks. And I know we saw BNAI. That has halt potential. That we're going to roll through all of that. But I absolutely love what we just got from Tim there. Real quick, stay focused. I'm sorry, man. This question came through. Maybe you were on a delay there. This question came through after he got out of there. I will save that. I will ask him. He's going to be back next Wednesday. No problem at all. Good morning. There's something else I was going to mention to you, but gosh, a lot happened right there. A lot happened really, really quickly.
I'm seeing that getting asked about GME, whether or not it's going to hold above 22. To me, it looks like it's in a trend now where it's going down. I think that there might be some support for you at just above 21. So $21 would be like, based on the past few trading days, I think that 21 would be the level of support you're going to want to look at. Go to a smaller time frame chart and you'll see what I mean. $21 looks pretty good.
Okay, really good stuff there. Just threw the link for Tim Melvin's yield report here in the chat. So if you're interested in some of that, go ahead and check it out. Thank you, Jacob, for the assist there. Okay. So what do we miss here? There are a number of stocks that were running. I saw Lucy getting a whole bunch of mentions. This is a penny stock that's actually going for dollar territory. It's taken multiple legs up here. BNAI, I saw really started to rip, had halt potential, really kind of died out there at 245.13. What else did I miss?
Well, while Tim was talking, I was listening to what he was saying and getting excited. At the same time, my eyes were on ASTS the whole time I was trading that. That was fun. It had some really good moves, and it whipped around a lot, so there was some opportunities to get in and get out pretty quick. It looks like it's rolling over now. So I'm expecting to come down to VWAP, which I currently have at 675. So I have no position in ASTS right now, but that was what I was trading.
Yeah, I was going to say next trade here looks like maybe a pullback to VWAP and see if we can bounce there.
Chewy still grinding higher. Lucy made new highs. Looks like that's going to try.
Thank you for reminding me. Stay focused. I know you're a Chewy fan just like me. What did you think about the earnings here? Nice move by Chewy here today. As 13 was just saying, still holding up here. Chewy up 25% on the day here. I would love to know what you thought about it. Sorry, go ahead, 13.
I was going to say that pre-market pattern, that was just clear as day.
Yep.
That was the pattern you want when you just before the market opens.
Popped, hold, second pop, hold. Guess what? As soon as the market opened, we got our third pop that has still been moving here.
And Elon, you're absolutely right. REITs, you got to be careful with, because they do have great dividends, but the way that they're taxed is going to be a little bit different. You're going to, I think those are better off in IRA and Roth IRA accounts for tax reasons. Talk to a professional about that. If you're going to go heavy into a REIT like that, there might be some better methods they have depending on your situation, so that you're not missing out on more money from taxes.
Really, really good stuff there.
Let's see. So BNAI looks like that's currently flagging. If that gets support from the VWAP, that could be positive. But I still won't be trading BNAI today. I'm just not interested in that one. ASTS has been great anyway, so I think I'll just stick with that one. What's the broader market doing? I haven't taken a look at that in a while.
SPY's bouncing. It kind of put that low in there. It really stopped breaking down. It's kind of grinding here. It's not really bouncing a ton, but it is holding in there. Q's a little bit better. And we're actually seeing that with some of the names. I actually haven't pulled up Nvidia in a little bit here. Nvidia continuing its move off the bottom. Apple still doing a really good job holding higher here. And Netflix resuming its strength. Tesla, really kind of a flash in the pan here. That big move right out of the gate. Totally sold, or almost totally sold off. Retraced about 50% of that from where we're at right now. So that's what's going. Meta was another one that we were looking at here. Meta actually looks like this is grinding higher as well.
Oh, is it past its 50-day SMA yet?
Meta, let's see here. What value? It's so hard. I make these charts small so I can fit a lot of stuff on my screen, but when I need to get specific values, I actually need one of my bigger charts here. Let me get that for you here real quick. 13. Sorry, I wasn't prepared. No, not quite. We're still $5 away from that, unless you were asking me a question you already knew the answer to.
No. I'm just because I just wanted to know, because I think that's going to be the big thing to watch for. If that can get over the 50-day SMA. If it cannot, then like I was saying at the beginning of the show, I'm going to be looking at the 20-week SMA to see if that ride is over. You look at you look at that you look at that daily chart. What am I talking about? You look at that weekly chart that has a 20 SMA on it, and you'll see that the price action has been pretty faithfully riding up that. Only trading beneath it a little bit and coming right back up. So as soon as we start seeing that fail, I think that's going to be confirmation that Meta's headed down.
KTRA, this getting mentioned here by Smoke Tuna. This is hilarious because this was actually a multiple mention on Happy Hour. A gentleman that said, hey, this could probably go 100% here in the next couple of weeks. I believe the stock price was 11 cents. When that took place here. Here we are printing 23s. I know this is a penny stock here. You know me, folks. I stayed away from penny stocks, but this was a great call. Can't wait to give Sanjay his flowers off this.
Yeah, this one merging with a company called Johora Biosciences, and this company Kintara stands to benefit greatly from that merger. So I think that was his thesis. Don't have all the details that he had, but this was something he was mentioning, before it 2x'd. So the 2x is, 10 cents. I mean,
FMC, really weak day. I haven't seen Lion Atlas here today. I hope he's doing okay.
Oh, he's been on.
I just haven't seen him recently. FMC really kind of rolling over to the lows here. We might enter a 50 handle again here on FMC.
That's okay. Buy the weakness, sell the
I was going to say, if we have a longer term approach on that one, we'll be able to dollar cost average on that stock. Smoke Tuna mentioning KTRA, a senator has bought it. I don't have any results on that. Who was that? I'll have to look into that. I don't have anything on that. Was
Laurel
that today?
Lee. It's Florida Congresswoman Laurel Lee.
When was that?
I'm just looking at the headline from today, or from yesterday.
Today.
I mean,
okay, so that's likely going to be updated. Okay, I'll look into that. Let me make a note of that.
but I don't think she's. I think that's like state congresswoman. I don't think that's federal.
Yep. Oh, and that might be why we only have the federal stuff. I'll look into that. You're giving me a lot of stuff. You're giving me a lot of stuff to look into, which I really, really like. Okay. So what is actively moving around right now? I know I kind of flipped through kind of a lot there. Chewy's still grinding higher. ONMD, I know that got mentioned earlier. That actually looks like that might be going higher.
So I'll say this. ANF looks like it's rolling over. MACD would suggest that that might be happening. But if it continues to hold above VWAP, then I think it might just, MACD might not converge. It just might continue going up. But I think this would be the one to watch if you want to try to get a trade in here. I'm just not sure. It looks pretty good. It's holding the VWAP above the VWAP for now, but the volume is really starting to wane. So I'm just not sure. But there's one that we could keep an eye on if we want to find a trade. Chewy just continues to grind higher. It just made another intraday high.
Chewy's been really strong here today.
BNAI might be it just had a VWAP bounce just now. This one
that's really good.
This one might be moving up. I guess 250 would be the target for this one. That would be make it new intraday high, but it's got to chew through 25 cents of sell orders.
This move in here, that 209, really good entry. Here's what that first sell order down. Here's the next one, 13. That first one at 226, right through it. Hot knife through butter. Got another one here, 229.
It's going to take that one. Looks
They're
like
taking it. Bang, that one's gone. Actually brought in bids right after that. BNAI. This is actually kind of been, there's been moves here, but this one's been kind of a difficult trade here today.
Yeah, let's see here. I have my notes on that one. No, I didn't cover this one, so I don't have notes on it. But it looks like it's, it's trying to get up there. But like I said, it's got 25 cents of sell orders to chew through, and it's doing a good job so far. But the big one it looks like it needs to get through is at 240.
Jay mentioning Dell has earnings tomorrow. This is actually traded up into those earnings. Jay, can't remember if you've talked about trading this one before. Do you have a position in this? Are you looking to trade this one? That run into earnings here. Look at this chart. This run into earnings has me nervous. We've seen a lot of stocks that do this really kind of sell off. Dell's been really, really strong recently, though.
Yeah.
Earnings tomorrow after the close.
Yeah, that probably will be some profit taking in Dell. I mean, maybe they'll do something like stock buybacks. That seems to have been the play lately.
Yeah, sure has. BNAI continuing to move higher here. Next big size here, I've got it 240, 13.
Yep.
That would be my first trim zone off that 209 move.
Yeah, the Bears don't want this going higher, but I think it might be. 240, because if you look at the pre-market, that's it went up to right about there, just a penny away from 240. So that's definitely a level, that 240 that has all that size. And we tried to break above that, and we got rejected. So 240, that's the big level. We take
That's
that out
yeah,
and run.
Dog, this thing has done absolutely nothing today. We had that one little pop back to the VWAP, or back towards the VWAP, and then just complete breakdown.
Must have not been a great order.
You're probably right about that one. ASTS, Jay Summers mentioning this is heading lower. This still potential bounce at VWAP if it gets down there. I wouldn't write that one off yet for being done for the day. Lucy also getting mentioned. Lucy, this penny stock has just been a ripper here today. This might try and test $1. This might try and test $1. I'm not saying we're going to get an FFIE type move in this one, but this might be testing $1 for the penny players out there. Only 18 cents away. Nvidia finally red to green here. Joe, let's see.
I'm not saying
Finally
Lucy
ready-
won't. I'm not saying Lucy won't test $1. I am noticing though that the volume has been steadily declining the higher we go. So we would need to see that maintain if we're going to get into $1. But for now, it looks like it could.
And trading up into a resistance area, we would expect to see that there. Nvidia, by the way, that briefly, I think, Joe, I didn't actually have it on the screen. It briefly tested green and kind of came back in. Let's see if it actually builds above. Okay, I think you put OKOO, but that's not a stock. I think you meant OKLO because that one we've been talking about recently. That did bounce off its VWAP here. It dropped, Nvidia dropped $3 right as I looked. Joe, I cursed it, didn't I, man? I can't even help it. Can't even help it. Oh my gosh, Netflix power move here today. Amazon, whoever asked about Amazon earlier, what? AMZ, what?
AMZA?
I literally didn't type that at all. How is that what got brought up? Anyway, Amazon moving to the highs here.
Somebody came in and remapped your keys.
I've mentioned this before. I'll say this. If I have one gripe about the hub here that they're replacing, that's it. I typed AMZN and it auto-filled me AMZA. Maybe because I just typed it too fast. No bueno. No bueno. Do not auto-fill me anything unless I ask it.
Well, Lucy got to 90 cents. It's almost there. It's getting close to breaking the volume trend too.
I don't know if this has any good fundamental reason to do that, but it's doing it. SOPH. What is this one? Sophia Genetics. Looks like that had a pretty big move on volume. Was there news there? Let's see. SOPH.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Lucy. I only know what I'm seeing here on the chart. And if that's the case, if there's no fundamental basis for it being up here, then you might get one of those situations where, that happened earlier today where it knifed after that first run. It's getting closer to $1. If you got your sell orders out at $1, that'd probably be a prudent thing to do.
I'd be happy taking it there at $1 too, by the way.
So, just make some considerations for this movement. I think that when it does turn around, it's going to be, it could be quite violent and sudden.
SOPH. So ticker SOPH, which we just talked about. We've discovered what's going on here. Sophia Genetics to launch new genome sequencing capabilities. And when you read through it, a cloud narrative healthcare technology company and a global leader in data-driven medicine today announced it's collaborating with Microsoft and Nvidia to leverage their expertise in technology and genomics, I think is how it's pronounced, to bring a streamlined and scalable whole genome sequencing analytical solution to healthcare institutions. So I know we were just talking about, medical REITs with Tim. This is probably the opposite end of that, right? AI being brought into the medical industry. Obviously, this popping SOPH pretty good here intraday. I know we're giving back some of these gains. Let me look at an intraday chart here. Why is it doing that? I know we're giving back some of these gains, but that explains the move here in SOPH. Partnership with Nvidia and Microsoft. Sorry, go ahead.
Lucy ran to 98 cents. Let's come back in now.
So it didn't quite get to $1. So all those people that put their orders at $1
Well, I mean, I'm not saying it's done, but it got to 98 cents and it's still up here. So it could still go.
So if you were saying is regurgitating that news? Well, no, I want to see where they talked about Microsoft and Nvidia before. What day was that on? STFU announces, because I know they're PRing a lot about their AI technology, but you're right. If this is a regurgitation of Microsoft and Netflix, then I didn't see that though here in the newsfeed, and I'm back in April.
If $1 is coming, it's going to come here. Otherwise, might be it. And Lucy.
Yeah, STFU. I'm now back to the beginning of this year, and I don't see any news regarding Microsoft and Nvidia. So let me know what date that was. I want to look a little bit more into that. Here you go on Lucy, 98 cents. They're taking it. They're taking the high there, 99. Are we going to get this dollar print? I mean, we're 2 cents away now. We going to get that? 13's like, I'm not making a call. I already made my call. I'm not making it again.
I already gave what my thought is on this one. This one's not for me to trade. I'm having a great time with ASTS anyway, so I'm going to trade it's working for me, as everybody should.
I just want to see if this 98 cents gets popped off here. As soon as I take it off the screen, that's what'll happen, right?
Let me know when you stop looking at stuff. So
here. Let me do that. Let me stop looking at Lucy right now. Bnaai. Let's look at ASTS really just to mess with you. How about that? 13, 720, 725. I'm just joking, right?
It's been
725. The next spot here.
Oh, this might be it.
Thank you, STFU. So this was a news print from $1 on Lucy. So that's all I had to do was take it off the screen. That is remarkable, folks. That is absolutely remarkable. As soon as I take it off, bang. So this is a newsprint here from 2022. Partners with Microsoft to accelerate multimodal health data analysis. I'm going to look into that. I'm not sure that's the same thing, but I appreciate you giving that to me. That gives me something to look into, STFU.
No, but that's great, though, that he actually, found that.
Yeah. And you know what else is great? I mean, I don't know about you, but to me, I would forget something that happened in 2022. Like maybe if I really cared about it, I'd connect that, but I would probably forget that. No.
Oh, I love how the market's trying to figure out what to do in Lucy here. It's just it printed $1 exactly, and now it's trying to figure out if it's going to go higher or not. And it keeps
Noli.
Oh, nope.
Yanking 8K out of Lucy here today. That's what I'm saying. Great job. Enjoy
Absolutely
the rest of your day.
That's great. I like to see that.
Me too. Chewy continuing to move higher here. Glenn giving you a price target, 22.35 potential here on Chewy. By the way, just saw a slew of Nvidia calls come across the tape. These are the all different strikes. Oh, goodness. All different strikes. Some of them bigger, some of them not. Definitely a lot of option activity in Nvidia at the moment.
Lucy pushing slightly higher, but it is, it seems like it's really having trouble staying in this one handle. Here come the sell orders now.
I can appreciate this too. I worked for an immunology lab that would recycle PRs just for bumps to their stock price. So you've seen this firsthand. Appreciate you sharing your expertise with the group.
Here come the bids in Lucy. Man, I don't know what to do.
Soph. I'm probably butchering it. You're right. Soph, as in sophomore. You're probably right about that, James.
Buyers saw that it's over $1, and I said, okay, well, now there's a lot
ONCO.
less short risk.
Here's your next penny stock.
Lucy, 110 new highs.
Carmen, maybe GVH finally bottomed here. We tried to play that first curl and got slapped around here, but this does look like it's kind of bottomed for longer here. Great job on the patience.
Chewy just continues to make new highs. 2167 now. I have to think that ANF that it's still going sideways, that at some point, maybe in the next 10 minutes or so, there might be direction chosen. Thinking that might go up, but I'm not sure. We need to see some volume expand with that. Otherwise, this thing will roll over.
Man, if you had told me what is like, let me look back to like 2022 and Abercrombie. If you had told me several years ago, hey, Abercrombie's going to be up several 100%, you should buy that as a stock, I probably would not have believed you.
Lucy halted.
2022 stock's $40. Man, oh man.
Lucy halted to the upside.
So the halt potential actually came with the penny stock. How about that? I thought that might be on Bnaai when that really started to go here. But Lucy giving us that halt there. The penny
buyers
players
really
are winning again today.
The buyers really came in as soon as it got over $1. Because when what happens with these penny stocks, when they get over $1, then that tends to scare out a lot of shorts who are just getting into it because it's under $1 and it's weak already.
They're waiting for the delisting, right? They're going to short that thing, slam it down beneath $1, delisting notice, all that other stuff, and now when you get back above it, they run for cover, run to cover.
We've talked about this a lot in Happy Hour. That's the institutional play, is to just short these really weak penny names into oblivion, because they can't raise the money to keep operations going. It's too expensive to borrow. They can't afford their personnel. They end up having to let them go. They lose key players, and all of a sudden you have a bare bones company that's not making any money, and you go belly up.
Real quick here, Sydney saying we'll attend ASCO in Chicago for cattle news on June 3. Awesome. Let us know how that goes. We would really appreciate a boots on the ground report here, Sydney, on what you learn at that conference. Is that in McCormick Place, by the way? I think they said in the newsprint, didn't they, where that was? June 3rd is a Monday, too. Let's see. At an ASCO meeting.
If A&F's going to go, I think it's going to be within the next matter of minutes here. Market Sniper, mibio saw what Lucy was doing and said, hey, we can do that too. Let's take a look at mibio. Oh yeah, look at that thing. Well, this had a really nice setup too. I mean, look at that pre-market formation, and we kind of had a little bit of a cup, broke out of that, and now we're going higher.
Yes, wow. That ASCO meeting is at McCormick Place, by the way. Okay, interesting. Would appreciate a boots on the ground report there. I was actually looking at mibio earlier. I think actually when Tim first came on, I think I actually pulled this up while he was talking. mibio looking like this is the volume expansion that we talk about all the time. Look how it's continuing to expand here. Let's roll through the chat, see what else you folks are looking at. You guys are really doing this. This group has just been awesome.
It's fantastic.
For a long time now. Every day is a new level of awesome with this group.
Oh gosh, here we go with ASTS again. Going up to 730. There's a big wall there. Break out the drill bits. Chew through it.
Let's see if it chews or if it just chomps it. We're 1 cent away from hitting that. Sing also got mentioned earlier, by the way. Single point. This is another penny stock back to its VWAP.
Getting another mention this time from Saul Noda on CRM. Jay Rice is also mentioning that, I believe, earlier today as well.
And was stay focused.
Yes, that was it too. Still waiting to see if ASTS is going to be able to break through that. There's a large wall at 730, and I don't think they have the volume right now. There's going to have to be a big order or a number of orders that come in to get through this. And it's not happening at the moment.
277, by the way, on CRM here is going to be your 20-day moving average. Also a potential gap to be filled in here. 274-ish up to 278, maybe a 4-point gap in there. You guys are asking about Nick. I believe so. Nick is always welcome back here. I think he's on his summer break, might be looking around for things, might just be enjoying being a young adult.
With as much of a request as we're getting, we need to bring him on.
Yeah, I mean, I'll let him know that you folks miss him, no question. But I would expect to see news by Nick back. Absolutely.
We're through with ASTS trying to go higher. So now it has 740 to get through. There's a lot of sellers building.
Stay focused. Take care of yourself, man. We will enjoy the rest of the day. Hopefully we'll see you at happy hour. I'm bouncing too much counter algo trading for me today. Yeah. Hey, man, stay safe any way you can.
All right. Orders going to have to come in here now if we're going to break out. This looks like this is a breakout spot for ASTS. Oh, yeah. Come on, keep that volume flowing, guys. Time to break 750. Are we going to do it? We're getting there. What's Cleo saying?
I don't know. He must be talking to the speaker that's playing other bird noises in there. Lion Atlas, I'm good, guys. Thank you. You're welcome, Lion Atlas. You might be on a bit of a delay there, I think. You might be on a bit of a delay there. SPY, by the way, we talked about that. That actually not breaking down here anymore. That continuing to bounce.
Mm-hmm.
Slow, but
That's
doing
fine.
it.
That's kind of the price action I was looking for. Just a little bit of a bounce and still closing lower than yesterday's close. That's all I'm looking for today. All right. ASTS, it looks like it's really starting to get the volume to expand. It needs in order to get through 750. Just need to see if it's going to do that or not, but we're getting close here. And we're through. Woohoo!
Nice little pop through there, too.
Take care, Dustin.
Yeah, take care of yourself, man.
So new highs in ASTS 760.
Hey, this is just a monster call from the beginning here too. This thing dipped to 6, great bounce off 6, up $1.50. We talked about this one being potentially the mover of the day. So far, so good. Looks pretty good.
Yeah, volume still isn't great on this one, so that was pretty nice that we got that pop through 750. But if it comes in and stays in for a little bit, that wouldn't surprise me. The volume's not great on here, but I think that was the last one for me for now in ASTS.
DJAF saying Dell buy the dip. Don't forget Dell has earnings. Isn't that tomorrow? Didn't we talk about that earlier today? Yeah. Dell has earnings tomorrow after the market closes, and this thing's really run into earnings. DJF, are you playing the earnings here? Or are you playing for maybe just kind of like a one-day move continuation into earnings? Curious on the thesis there. Earnings tomorrow after hours.
I don't know that I don't think it's a great idea to buy a stock that has a daily RSI of 79.
I've never thought that. I'm with you. I'm with you on that. By the way, Lucy opened, halted to the downside. Good call here.
Oh, and it's halted again.
Halted to the downside. Yep. DJF says, yep, pre-earning roll up. So you're looking to trade that into earnings and hold it through earnings.
All right. So I'm sure if you were trading Lucy that this is exactly what you wanted to see and you're probably out. And if that's the case, you nailed it. Great job.
DKS still holding higher. Charlie Brown pulled the football on Lucy.
Okay, so Lion Atlas kind of given us his plan for GMRE, which is great. I think GMRE is just great to have. And I'm going to end up getting back in it at some point.
So are you referring to Lion's comment here?
Yes.
Here's what I did on GMRE. Let me actually bring up GMRE. I actually didn't get filled on that. I put an order out in my swing account for this when Tim was talking, and I never got filled. My order's still sitting down there. Let's see, what price did I have? 888. Did not get filled there. Here's what I did on GMRE. I sell put to get paid up front. And if it runs higher, I'll keep the premium. If it goes lower, I'll buy it at a discount. Okay. Wally saying, Ryan, how do you find what a stock company do on Benzinga Pro? It's Benzinga Pro. But let me go ahead and show you. The easiest way here, Wally, is any details tool that you have open, whether it's part of an existing workspace or one on its own like I do with my chart tool. You click on the overview tab and you scroll to the bottom, you will have a blurb about what that company does. And in a lot of cases, you'll also have a link right to their homepage so you can go and figure out any information that you need. But to answer your question here, the general overview of the company is found on the overview tab of details, and it is down at the bottom. Make sure you scroll down there. Hope you're having a good morning, my man.
It looks like Abercrombie ANF. That's really close to breaking out from the high it put in earlier this morning.
Nice power move here.
Just like I said earlier, the volume has been in a straight decline, and we haven't seen it recover yet. So we really need to see that volume pick up and expand. in order to get through that high we made earlier, which is 180.65.
So, and interesting here, Nvidia stopped right at green and then went back red, just kind of sitting there. Looking through some of the other unusual options here. Zoom. Good.
A little bit more out of ASTS. New high is 767.
Fear breaking down here too. Here you go on ASTS.
I just don't think that I'm going to be trading this one anymore. I think this is going to be, I think it's a little extended right now, and it kind of needs to come in. So I'm just going to wait on ASTS. I think it'll provide trades later today if this is where we're going to be topping out at for the time being.
INSM, this is interesting. This is one that we talked about yesterday. I'm seeing calls come across the wire here a day after that initial pop. It's flagging here right around 49. Lucy is open.
I don't see it open. It's still halted for me.
Yeah, it's still halted for me as well. I don't see a resumption here. 10:43 was the last halt. I think halt, resume halt. No. Yeah, you did jump the gun there. You did jump. I was going to say, I think you're on a delay or something. I don't know what's going on.
When this does open, I'm going to be interested to see if Lucy goes down to under 80 cents.
Look at, and GVH, you guys are mentioning that pop there. This pop is actually a fake out, guys. The last time we talked about this, it was right in here, 179. That's right where it popped back to. This stock has been nothing but weak today. I took a loss on this one trying to get that curl here. No interest. This thing's donezo.
Not seeing too much that's enticing to me. Let's look at some of these older names, see how they're doing. Oh, wow. So Zim ended up getting all the way up over 21, almost what?
22, actually. It printed above 22 here today.
Wow.
Almost 22.50.
Yeah, and that's right where that resistance is from October, that whole fall of 2022 is we went right up to there and got found resistance. So I wonder if this is going to come in a bit. I'll have to wait and see what happens with that one. Lucy is now open and kind of holding out here in the low one handle. I think it's going to try to decide if it's going to go back to being penny or if it's going to stay above $1.
It's holding that dollar. There's a little bit of a bid there to try and support it, but that's nothing that can't get absolutely destroyed.
It's a mention of KRE by Born to Be Free. It's coming in nicely. So this is, weakness in the regional banks is not something you want to see if you're worried about the Fed and rates and whatnot. This could, it's usually when it starts dropping down violently, it's like, oh, okay, well, the Fed broke something. From what I can tell, the KRE coming down to the 200-day SMA has a RSI of just under 35. It could be a good bounce spot here if if we're looking to trade this. I'm just not sure that I want to be on the side of the trade with rates kind of staying where they are. You're saying penny.
ASTS unusual options as well. Seeing some sweeps on that name. Also seeing DJT sweeps, which is interesting. DJT here above 50. Nice little move here on DJT. That really needs to break out from what number? We got 57.5 in there. DJT. ONCO, yeah. It's another penny stock that continues to trade higher here. SMMT Summit Therapeutics. This is with a decent move.
Yeah, I did Line Atlas. I think we were talking about it earlier. I added. I think Ryan may have too.
I did not add yet today. I'm waiting for this to break 60. I want to add in the 59 handle, and I'm only 60 cents away. So no ad for me yet today on FMC.
Wow, ASTS still going higher, but it's not making great candles anymore. Like it just has this, this price action that it looks like it's slowing down as far as upside goes. Kind of like it's about to round over, Still not trading ASTS quite yet. I want to see this come in a bit first.
July 10 calls Those got bought over 1,000. Seeing if there's any other big, even the August calls, they don't have as much volume, but no one's really trading the November contract. Wow, the January 2025 goes all the way out to $20. There's 6,800 contracts traded at that strike.
For which
That's
company?
again ASTS. January 2025 calls expire in 233 days. 85 cent ask. Tons of action in that contract. There's actually some action in the 12.5 contract the following year, January 2026. I don't understand that. If I were doing that, why wouldn't you just buy the stock? I don't know.
Lion, I don't think you're late to the party. There's always going to be food for the king of the jungle. Lucy's still hanging out here, holding up $1. ANF finally with that breakout. It looked like it was coming, but wasn't sure with how the volume was. And bio, that doesn't look like it's doing anything anymore, unless we're actually going to get, unless it's starting to turn around here. I think it has to happen with MBio if there's going to be future trades today, is that it needs to recapture that VWAP. HIM's trying to go for its intraday high. First thing it needs to do is break over 1925, in my opinion.
Let's bring up HIMS here. Carmen, we've been looking at Bnaai all day today. All day. This has been one of the stocks that was on the list from the pre-market and actually gave an opportunity during the regular session.
Yeah, Lucy's still happening, and I think you might be right, STF. You could risk another halt here, especially if we get this movement that we're getting now. We could halt if it runs up and choose through these the next 10 cents of sell orders here. That's a lot of orders to get through. It's going. 140 has over 500,000 sell orders.
Jay, I forgot we talk a lot about semiconductors all of the time. What are your thoughts still on INDI? This is one that you liked a long, long time ago. I'm just wondering if you're still looking at this. This obviously much, much lower price than some of the other semiconductors that we look at on a regular basis. Again, just wondering if you still like this one. What you think about this? Is Dell still cooking? Dell still inside? And where were we on Nvidia? Yeah, that's still inside that candle. Nothing new there. NNE getting mentioned by a number of you in the chat. NNE at the highs here.
Looks like, yeah, I see what you're saying about BNAI. It's trying to move up. It's still above its VWAP, so that's good for it. What do we got? Like 230 seems to be the level it needs to close over here on the 5-minute. That would be my guess. Yeah. Things have certainly slowed down.
Yes, it has.
What's the SPY doing here?
Yes, it has. SPYs, that bounce just kind of stalled out here, but it's really not trading down. The Qs, by contrast, actually bounced a little bit more and traded sideways, and it's still holding that. That actually should be pretty good for Nvidia, frankly. Tesla really kind of rolling over there. Tesla had that huge move out of the open and then just complete and utter disappointment. Retraced most of that stick, couldn't really get above the VWAP. Lower we go here.
It looks like ASTS wants to go higher, but the volume is telling me that it might not be able to. We have to see some pretty big expansion to get through 770. Because I'm seeing like just, oh, hey.
What up?
Zunaid.
I just always like to just pop in,
Yeah, I was going to say, nobody told me that you were popping in today. This is the unannounced pop-in, but we'll take it. We're not against
Wednesday.
it.
It's Wednesday, which
And?
is Future Fever.
Yeah.
Wednesdays on 11. But here's a question. Here's why I came in a few minutes early. Are we buying Robinhood for the long term with their $1 billion repurchase? Because I've got some January calls, $20 strikes that I purchased for $4.80, and I'm curious if I'm going to go broke or not.
Yeah, no, we're not buying Robinhood. I'm not anyway.
Okay.
Thought about it for the gold credit card. Thought that was pretty cool, but no.
Definitely am going to get that. No question. You know what? I don't like this AI thing. Hold on.
I was trying to set you up for that. Jay's Life saying yes, Robinhood. STFU saying F, Robinhood.
Okay. As in,
Becca saying ding, ding, ding. The Zunaid alarm has been activated. I don't even know what that means, but congrats, Zunaid.
I like it. I'm telling you, I feel like I need an intro. We'll work on it. We'll ask somebody to create me a little 2-second jingle. But no, I genuinely like Robinhood, especially if we can break out of here. I do like it long term, period. But it looks like some people aren't fans.
Yeah, I mean,
but is that because of the whole taking away the buy button?
yeah,
right?
I think that you're talking about a trading position. I'm
talking about both. I'm talking about short term trading, but also
I'm probably biased. Yeah.
End of the year, right? End of the year. How are we looking? If a company is willing to put $1 billion worth of buybacks, then
Oh, damn. Look at this.
What?
Becca's saying time's up for the next show here. Wow. What are we?
I'll see you later.
Yeah, Zunaid. Look, 13 and I better get out of here and let you take over here a little bit early. I would hate to disappoint the viewers here.
I know, dude.
The chat's reporting mixed on Robinhood. LOL.
But yeah,
that's
we'll
funny.
see. By the way, I did send. Speaking of this, I did send the Cumin Club an email. They haven't gotten back to me. But I've been checking reviews on like the best, I don't know, ready-made Indian food type situation. So we may pivot, but we'll see.
How about we pivot from ready-made Indian food to tandoori made food fresh? How about that as a pivot? Let's do that pivot.
What's the deal with this butter chicken origination?
So the way that I pitched it to this company, and I swear to God, I sent them an email and I said something. I'm a lazy guy who likes Indian food that's inexpensive but also delicious. And then I said there's a running joke between our community where it's like anytime we have a winning trade, right, and especially if it's a damn good one, we go ahead and have some butter chicken to celebrate. And so there's a context. And the reason that they came about is because me being lazy, I would literally go to Trader Joe's and I would buy 10 frozen butter chicken packs. And it would look like I had an Indian restaurant and we ran out of butter chicken. So I needed to replenish my supply. When really I was lazy. So that's where it originated from.
It's 13 winner chicken dinner. Zunaid morphed that into winner butter chicken dinner.
Yes,
that's the long and short of what happened there. So
that's what it is.
Look, you guys can make all the jokes you want. Indian food is my favorite ethnic food, and
I love it.
You will have to pry butter chicken from my cold dead fingers to get me to stop eating that. It is so effing delicious.
Yeah.
So
no question.
All right, Zunaid, we got less than a minute here. Futures Fever's next. What can we expect?
Definitely going to be going over some future trades that we're going to take a look at, right? I've got my funded accounts ready to rock and roll. You can see them all nice and pretty there. Most of them have been passed in terms of eval accounts. But yeah, we're going to take a look at futures, maybe play some trades, see what's going on the broader aspects. And of course, we'll take a look at some different stocks as well. Charts, Hood being one of them. So that's what we'll cover.
All right.
13 and I are out. 13, great job here today. Awesome stuff.
Take care, guys.
See you on happy hour, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody.
See ya. Bye. All right, chat. Let's get it rocking and rolling. Oh, hello. Where's my face? We'll figure this out. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. There we go. Oh, there we go. Thank you, producer Ryan. I appreciate it. Or whoever did that in the back.
Yep.
Sweet. All right, let's get rocking and rolling. Let's talk about Apex. There's a lot of things that have been happening in the prop firm trading world. You've got some, prop firms that are shutting down, some that are rocking and rolling. I want to be very clear. This show is sponsored by Apex, but in no way, shape, or form am I not allowed to speak my own mind. So I had a viewer email me asking me questions that they felt like I wouldn't be able to answer on air because it may have been negative. I'm happy to answer and be honest about anything and everything because I put my hard-earned money into these evals and funded accounts just like we would love for you to if this is something that you believe is beneficial in your trading journey. So quick 60-second rundown on what Apex is, and then we'll get back to the trading action. Apex, prop firm, where you can go ahead and get 90% off of their evals, and you can get your target met in just one day. You don't have to meet it in one day. You can take as long as you'd like, but you can go ahead and do it in one day. They've got that going on for about another day. They might extend it, right? Especially maybe for the rest of May. I don't really know. I'm not a part of their marketing team, but you go ahead and pass that eval. You get a $50,000 eval account, which has a drawdown of $2,500. So that's how I like to look at it. For about, what is it? $20 maybe? What is it? Something like that. What's the math on this puppy? I think it's like $20 or so. Call it $20. And then you also can go ahead after you pass the eval, right? You get your $3,000 limit. You go ahead and get it funded where you get a drawdown again of $2,500 by paying about $165 for the lifetime of that account. So totally looking at about a $200 investment to go ahead and get it. Now, what I've done is you can see here, I have my funded accounts, right? So I have 2 already ready to go that I've paid for. I work here full time, so I don't exactly have the luxury of trading as much as I want, but you can see a majority of these have already been passed. I just need to pay it so that I can go ahead and have my accounts funded. You can have up to 20 accounts funded where you can copy trade. That means you place trade on one thing and it'll copy on the other 19 accounts as well. So that's what it is right now. You've got 90% off. Go ahead and use promo code FEVER, FEVER, to go ahead and help us out and, make some stuff happen so that they can continue paying our bills. But I genuinely love the product. Again, I pay my own money for these funded accounts, right? So no one's just giving them to me for free. Probably spent about $4 to $5 grand, I think, with Apex many times because I'm dumb and I blow up the accounts. But anyway, let's go ahead and rock and roll and see what we can go ahead and find. Get a little look at the let's just get rid of everything. There we go. We've obviously got new highs and we've obviously got resistance so far being met at around, call it about 19,000 or so, right? That's where we've kind of having a little bit of trouble getting over. And I'm curious if we're going to come back and kind of break this 18,704 level or not. But for now, that's kind of the area that I'm keeping an eye on. If we do want to break it, if we get closer to this, I'd be curious if I wanted to go short, right? Because this seems like a great spot. But we'll see if he wants to go ahead and come on down. We can take a look at some ES as well. I'll take a look at Kava here in a moment. Haven't tried their food, but I'm happy to look at their stock. Just stair-stepping on down. Boop, 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 boop. Got to find a way to come right back up. Matter of fact, we need a little bit of music. Just a little bit. What's night driving? All right, cool. And again, one thing I won't do on this show is force a trade, right? Because again, my money's at work. And I don't want to just take a trade for the sake of taking a trade. That's bad habits that I don't want to have. I already have enough in life. I don't want to keep on bringing more. And as I'm looking, I don't really see much that I like. I'm not going to lie to you. Not going to lie to you. see where VWAP is on this puppy. Yeah. All right, cool. Nothing there. So I'm gonna go ahead and hold off. Let's take a look at CAVA as requested by the chat. I believe they had earnings. Is that right? They did have earnings on yesterday, after hours, it seems. Did they really not have a lot of movement? Yeah, looks kind of no movement there. I can't speak from a fundamental standpoint, but from a technical standpoint, obviously you've got yourself a nice little uptrend that's happening. I am not sure how I would play this outside of this break of 75 to the downside. So if we break 75, I'd be interested in possibly having this short. Outside of that, I am not sure how I would play this. Obviously, you know, if you go ahead and hit all-time highs, and that's obviously a trade to the upside. But outside of that, I don't know how I trade it. Besides to the downside, if it breaks 75, which we are $6 away from doing. How you guys been? Has hopefully everyone enjoyed their long weekend? I know I definitely kind of wished Tuesday was available for us. To be off. Sorry, my mind lagged. I am going to take this trade, am I? I think I am. Well, now it's got me panicking. Let's see if we get a quick scalp here. We've held support here a couple of times. Want to see if we can pop right back up here. Take a look at what the NQ is doing. Still above VWAP itself. Man, this Robinhood trade. This Robinhood trade. I'm in it, like I said. I hope it doesn't come back down here because I've got some calls all the way out to January. But while we're waiting on our trades to execute, feel free to throw some questions at me. It could be life questions. It could be trading questions. It could be whatever you want. Where is... All right. Ba-da-dum-bum-bum. Looks like I am going to get stopped out of my trade. Let's take a look at Tesla. On Tesla, by the way, I'm waiting on a break. You can see I've got an alert set of this 173. If we break this 173, I would be interested in shorting some Tesla. All right, looks like my stop got executed, so we did lose $250 there. Always want to be transparent with y'all. UPST, and then I saw your question, Jays. I'll answer that here in a moment. Upstart, ticker UPST. Line in the sand for me before we even looked at the chart was $20.33, $20. So you're about, $4 away from that. If you believe in the company in terms of fundamentals, I think you can go ahead and buy here what they risk off. If it breaks 20, then of course you've got here the $12, which please, for the love of God, do not hold it all the way down till. Just kind of pointing out the obvious things that I'm seeing. Yeah, that's the only really thing that I see. There's not much else for me to really go off of that I like outside of that 20 hold, which obviously if you're going to risk $4, then you're more of a swing trading that one, right? You're not really day trading it. But yeah, that's all I've got on that. I am not long my futures trade here just yet. Did it really just... I wanted to go long off of VWAP on the NQ, but I took the ES trade instead and obviously paid the price. What was the question? Jay's life. How many years did it take you to find consistency in your trading, and who would you suggest I can read about? I would say, so I am a profitable trader, but I wouldn't say I'm a consistent trader. I do have a lot of swings, right? And that's just because of how I've always lived my life in terms of being a risk taker, if that makes sense. So, although I'm profitable, I'm not like we'll hit singles every single day. Sometimes I like to hit doubles and triples, and that's where I can get in trouble, but it's also what's paid off for me. To answer your question, the only book I've ever found really worthwhile is what a lot of people know. It's Trading in the Zone. I believe it's by Mark Douglas. There's also a great YouTube series on him as well. It's got a bunch of views that you can check out, and it helps with understanding the psychology of trading, because that's what it is. Everyone can, at least in my opinion, be kind of like a break-even trader or a 48-49% trader, just blind, right? Just having a baby, flip a coin, heads or tails. I think everyone can be a 48% winner. What gets you that 5% edge to be in the 54 or 53% range is kind of the mentality and the discipline of, okay, I've lost 4 in a row. That means I'm going to go big on the 5th one to make it all back, because I am due, because law of averages or whatever, right? It's not the way it works. So I would say Mark Douglas, Trading in the Zone, is something to absolutely go ahead and take a look at. I am currently using TradingView. So this charting platform is called TradingView, and I've integrated it with Tradeovate with my Apex account. So I can place trades as I see fit directly from here. And a part of me kind of wants to go short again, but I've already lost, so not too confident just yet. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I made a mistake. I traded on this account instead of the funded account. I guess that's a good mistake to make. Let's go short one. And then we may go short another if it does want to come back and does this. All right, we just went short an ES contract. Broke below VWAP. The support line here, to me, I believe it's going to end up being resistant. We'll see if it wants to come back up and maybe test this. Hopefully it doesn't wick into my stop and tries to at least attempt to trade low a day. We will see. But I'm 0 for 1. My rule is always if I go 0 for 3, I'm done. Let's take a look at some crude oil here for us. By the way, I am still talking with a broker who is going to be integrated with TradingView, and hopefully we can have a show with me again trading stocks and options with real funds that I will deposit of mine. I'll remove it from one broker and add it to another. How soon will this happen? We're supposed to hear from them on Friday to get an idea of if they're going to actually sponsor that show or not. And if they do, then I would say their integration, I think, is supposed to be done mid-June. So I would say end of June, we would have that show. Well, we've actually got 2 shows that are coming up. Well, we've got one for sure, one maybe. The maybe is what I told you. It's a platform that's integrated with TradingView where you can go ahead and trade stocks directly from there. And of course, options you would trade on their platform as well. The second show is a competition that we are working on. We're like, the contracts are signed. We're ready to go. And we'll definitely need y'all's help to, make it pop. I can't believe I said that. Like I'm 24. But there's going to be prizes. There's going to be, cool things that we're going to do with that competition. Our lawyers are literally having a meeting as we speak, actually, to figure out the fine print and the details. But we're hoping to launch and introduce that. It'll be a show to market the competition. Then the actual competition will kick off, I believe, in either October or September. But I'm excited, though. We told you guys at the start of the year that we'd find more ways to get you trading shows so we can continue the coverage throughout the day, and that's exactly what we're doing so far. All right. Take care, Nicholas. Coming back to this trade. Don't you just wish sometimes that a trade will either just... Okay, I don't know about you guys, but let me know. Whenever I place a trade, in my head, I just want to know immediately if it's a winner or loser, right? So it's like, don't make me wait 15 minutes, 30 minutes to find out if I'm going to make money or lose money. I just want to click a button, and then the future individual that doesn't exist is like, oh, you know what? In 30 minutes, you would have lost this trade, so we're just going to take your money now. It's like, all right, I would love that, Shower thoughts, except not. Everyone's kind of been waiting for the market to quote unquote crash and come down, but this puppy just keeps on going. I mean, we had a pullback. What was this pullback? Like 8% maybe? 7% pullback. And then we rally right back up. We rally right back up to new all-time highs. Not a lot happening here. I guess that's kind of the thing if you're going to trade during lunch hours. This is what you kind of get. Oh, here's AMD, by the way. Let me know when we break this trend line, because I'd be interested in going short. Or I guess if we pop back above this one, I'd be interested in going long. I can have it both ways. Take a look at Lucy. Lucy. All right, Lucy. Well, pop. Not new highs just yet for the day, but getting close. What was that one company that had they were popping yesterday? Is it INSB? They're like a pharma company. That was on CNBC talking about some breakthrough that they had and the stock popped a whole bunch, and I don't know. Something like that. Does anyone remember? I don't remember. Slowly try to figure out what it's going to do. Putting me to sleep while we wait. Man, what was that damn company's name? INBS or something? I don't know. There's something with Bnaai. Maybe that's what it is. INSM. That's what it was. Yes. Look at that. What a pop. Right? We go from 21, about 100%, and then obviously you're much higher now. Ooh, I'm actually curious if... Can I? Should I? Will I? Think I will. I might try to trade this a few shares. Hold on. Curious if it's gonna try to get to this 53 high from yesterday's after hours. I would love for it to come back and like maybe retest 50s, like right there. All right, we got a few more minutes here. Let me know if there are any other charts that you guys want me to take a look at. We're still in the ES trade. Looks like I am going to go over 2, unfortunately, as my stop may be hit here in a moment. But yeah, I like Hood long term. I do like Hood long term. I think the cash flow that they got is just incredible. I think their, Robinhood credit card is going to be able to kind of get them more revenue. What's interesting, though, I think I read somewhere, and I have to triple check, is that they're taking on the risk, I believe, of the credit that they're lending. So it's not a bank, but it's like they're taking on the risk. So I don't really know. I don't really know what the business model of that entails and what that looks like for them, but yeah. All right. What other tickers you guys want me to take a look at? I'm going to bring on a guest next week, by the way. Someone who, hopefully can find better trades than I have today, apparently. And that's the thing. Like, sometimes if there's no trades out there, I feel like I'm not providing y'all value, So I got to come up with some stand-up jokes, a couple of one-liners. Wait, was this because of my Robinhood comment? Because I said Robinhood, I like it long term. Well, I mean, I'm putting money where my mouth is, right? So I have here, I don't know if you guys can see it, but here it is. Can you guys see it? So that's me purchasing Robinhood. So I purchased, I already had one contract, so I purchased another one. So I have 2 contracts. $20 calls executed at $4.90 that expire on January 17th of 2025. Just share my pickup lines. Oh, man. Funny. Our Bumble is kind of popping, I ain't gonna lie. Because I wanted to give myself enough time to get like the Q3 results out. I could have gone and maybe gotten Q4 results out, right? Sometime in February or so. But I just wanted to give myself enough time to where they were able to report 2 earnings at least, Q2 and Q3. And by then we would have a good idea of, hey, how much cash flow really they got in terms of intake. And also we would get information on, they would get information on, what do you call it? The credit cards, like how many people have signed up, what that looks like, and yada, yada, yada. Sorry, chat. Just taking care of something. But all right, I appreciate you guys. My apologies that we weren't able to kind of have a profitable trade. But here's what I want to do. Do me a favor, right? Because I don't want to just sit here and not provide any value to y'all. So if you have any ideas in terms of like, hey, these are the type of guests we'd love to see, and you have Twitter handles that you want to reach out to, or whatever the case is, I'd love to know, right? Let me get some insight. But before I go, I need a little help. Because if I'm going to try to get this sponsor for us to get another trading show where we can go ahead and trade stocks and options, I got to show them that you guys are interested. So if you could do me a favor, and I guess because I can't say the broker's name because I don't know if they'd want me to do that or not. I don't know. I'll come up with something later on. Anyway, sorry, my mind was boggling in different directions, but yeah, if you guys don't have any other charts that you want me to take a look at, I am going to go ahead and bounce and head out of here. We appreciate you all for always watching. And if you guys want, you can spam this in the chat, right? You can spam. Give me a sec. Yeah, there you go. Just spam that you want a new trading show or something of that variant, right? And that way I can take a screenshot, send it to the sponsor and say, hey, people are interested. So if you're genuinely wanting this, and the show would be about 30 minutes long, hopefully, 2 to 3 times a week, but maybe just once a week. But yeah, just spam that you want a new trading show, that you want a broker that's integrated with TradingView. That could be something else that you can go ahead and spam up. So I'll give it about 30 seconds if you guys want to do that. And then I will go ahead and get out of here. I am actually talking to Underdog Fantasy about possibly having a sports betting show. Obviously, they have the player side of things, but that's something that we are working on as well. But I appreciate you guys. And did we actually get stopped out? Or did we? Oh, no. Did I get stopped out and came right back down? Is that what just happened? Oh, no. I believe that may be what happened. Wait, how am I on TradeStation now? Oh, I'm looking at a different view. Sorry. Ha, look at that. We are still saved. Woo! Almost got stopped out. Came right back down. We'll see if it ends up coming down to the to our limit price or not. But I'll take a look at Pat before I go. Appreciate you, James. I will definitely be screenshotting that and sending it to the sponsor. Man, I really am not sure. 18 bucks maybe would be kind of like I'm out of here. It's an L trade for me, but unfortunately it's just not a ticker that I trade often. I don't know how much it'll really move for me to be interested, right? It moves like 70 cents. So there's not much that I'd be interested in this one for. I apologize, but 18 bucks though is a clear support area that's going to be broken. But all right, y'all. Appreciate you all for watching. And again, we're going to continue working on some trading content. We got some cool stuff planned, and I promise you the trading competition is going to be dope. We got a lot of stuff working to finish the second half of the year pretty strong for y'all and set us up for success when it comes to 2025. Appreciate you. Happy trading, and we'll see y'all next time.